Always a good start, dropping your glasses on the floor. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute pleasure to be here. Dairy farming is incredibly important in South Derbyshire. Not only do I have lots and lots of dairy farmers, but they're hugely under pressure. Also, we have the Dairy Crest processing plant with Nampak as well. And we used to have on the border in northwest Leicestershire the Arla processing plant that obviously moved, and that was 300 odd jobs that went. Interestingly, it was engineers from South Derbyshire that helped build the new Arla processing plant, so you win some, you lose some. You may wonder what a girl from Wandsworth in South London is doing demonstrating and lobbying for a fair price for dairy farmers. I'm a founder member and chair of the UK Dairy All Party Parliamentary Group, and I have campaigned aggressively for a fair price for UK dairy farmers. As Member of Parliament South Derbyshire, you will know that it includes large farming, it is a large farming constituency, responsible for maintaining the beauty and unique character of this magnificent part of Britain, literally 45 minutes up the road. Without a successful dairy farming industry, not only will our local and national rural economy suffer significantly, but the landscape as we know it will forever change for the worse. The APPG is currently conducting a study in regard to the sustainability of UK dairy farming against the backcloth of disastrous world markets and ongoing uncertainty. There is no doubt that there is a wide variation in the efficiency of British dairy farming, ranging from intensive to extensive, from all year round indoor housing to spring pasture fed and organic production. One of the reasons why we're all here today. However, what is clear to me is that there is no one method that is the answer for the future, and no simple answer equates size or location with success. I know of small hill farms where the families manage their livestock with attention to detail and low costs that allow them to survive in these disastrous times with disastrous prices. And there are large intensive dairy farms with supermarket direct supply contracts who are able to manage their way through volatility. However, what is critical is that just waiting for markets to improve or for government to step in and rescue farmers is not a realistic way to plan for the future. Government needs to play its part in highlighting market failures and ensuring that farmers and the industry is supported by excellence in research and development through organisations such as AHDB, or encouraging exports through ministerial visits with industry players to open up markets such as China and the Middle East. Recently, our DEFRA Minister, Secretary of State, did do that. In the long term, the dairy industry will only be successful if it is able to persuade consumers to recognise and pay realistic prices for milk, for supermarkets to stop using milk as a loss leader, and for dairying for the industry to continue to invest at least in cost supply chain developments, and for UK dairying to take its share of both the UK market by import substitution and export opportunities. I'm delighted that the industry continues to demonstrate its confidence through investment in manufacturing. Arla and Muller-Wiseman have been two examples of companies that have seen a bright ongoing future in the UK and invested accordingly. But in the end, it is innovation, endeavour, and dynamic determination in developing sustainable markets that will ensure the future prosperity of UK dairying. It is for that reason that I was delighted to accept the invitation from OMSCO and Farm Business to open this conference. I'm fascinated how a comparatively small UK organic cooperative can have driven such a unique and significant path from dependency on market volatility to shaping the market through innovation and global insight. Success has many routes, but all start on the farm with innovation and open-minded farmers, a clear vision and a determination to succeed. I look forward to hearing about the future of the global dairy market and to chair the early debate on Europe between Neil Parish and, as you've heard, regretfully, Dr. Richard North has an illness, so isn't able to be with you today. So Neil and I are actually going to do a double act on that, but we'll talk about that in a minute. I think that case studies of excellence from within and outside the dairy industry and technical discussions this afternoon will form mainly practical encouragement for you all when you leave this conference to have a positive mindset as to what we can and must do to ensure that we have a successful industry for the future. I'm very upbeat about the way that your industry does have a positive future. I know, particularly with Neil's superb leadership now as chairman of the Select Committee for DEFRA, and in fact, I'm following him as chairman of the All-Party Parliamentary Group. So it is a great honour for me to be with you today to open your conference. I know you're going to have an absolutely superb day. What I wanted to do was to really set the tone by introducing your first speaker of the morning. And Sean Ricard, I'm sure, is known to a number of you, but just ever so briefly, in case you're not sure, he was chief economist for the NFU from 87 to 95. He then went on to become an academic at the absolutely stellar Cranfield School of Management. He was director of MBA studies there. And from 95 to 2012, he was a government advisor on food and rural affairs with DEFRA. The theme of today is positivity. You're all going to have a superb day. I know there are farmers here who aren't organic farmers. I know there are farmers here who aren't members of OMSCO. But what I want you to do from the day, enjoy yourself, take as many messages as you can back, and just know that you've got a government on your side. So have a brilliant day. And Sean, if you'd like to come up and start the session for us, please.